Outstanding night weather-wise for baseball. Welcome to Hoover Met on a beautiful Sunday. Still some sunlight available, and right-hander Sean Tracey with an 8-3 record will toe the slab. His ERA 3.68. Tracey, 24 years old, 6'3", 205 pounds, fourth year of pro baseball. 8-3 on the season, 368 earned run average as mentioned, and 1-1 against the Montgomery Biscuits with an ERA of 2.92. In fact, his first AA win was against the Biscuits on Tax Day, April the 15th. Defensively behind Tracey in the outfield, left to right, Jerry Owens, Chris Young, and Ryan Sweeney. On the left side of the infield, Josh Fields and Pedro Lopez. On the right side, Antoine Gray and Casey Rogowski. Chris Stewart is catching. Tracey is pitching. Andy Gonzalez, our normal everyday second baseman, sprained his ankle a couple of days ago. He could be available late in a ball game if needed. He was warming up down the first base line earlier this afternoon, but he's not in the starting lineup. The Montgomery Biscuits, managed by Charlie Montoyo, they check in at 40 and 41, 5 and 6. In the second half. Tracey is ready. Third baseman Fields comes in on the grass. First pitch of the ball game. It's a ball inside, and we're underway. Johnny Rayburn is hitting .286 with 20 runs batted in. He's a switch hitter. The outfield is spread out and not very deep at all. Corner guys are up, including Fields at third. The pitch is swung on, fouled at home. It's 1-1 strike. Fields really playing shallow in on the grass. Your Bromberg Rolex time of the game locally here at 6:04. And our game time temperature is 88.3 degrees. Bromberg's your official Rolex jeweler with locations in Mountain Brook, the Galleria, the Summit, and Montgomery. Change up outside. Rayburn with a 2-1 count. He's 6 for 13 in this series. Switch hitter batting left side. The pitch is swung on and missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We still have plenty of sunlight. I'd estimate sunlight 60% on the field, then 40% in the shade. The 2-2 swung on, line drive, sinking in left field. It's Owens on a sliding attempt. It's a trap, and Rayburn with a wide turn, but he'll stop. A leadoff single for Johnny Rayburn. And the Biscuits have a man aboard. Right now, the scoreboard is going to be hard to read because of the sunlight. Just splashed right out there in right center field. Matt Maniscalco, the shortstop, hitting .256, 2 homers, 9 runs batted in. He came up from A-ball in early June. Right-handed hitter. Fields will come in at third. First pitch taken, strike at the knees. Jason Bradley has balls and strikes. Pete Peterson, the umpire, at first, and Will Robinson is the umpire at third. But right now, Robinson is playing what would be a shallow short. He's on the grass. The 0-1 pitch swung on, grounder to field, should be 2. Gray's got 1. Rogowski's got the second. 5-4-3. 2 taken care of. And nobody on for Delman Young.
The right fielder, number 26, Delman Young.
The Birmingham defense has been solid all year long. There was one exception. That was last night. 3 critical errors leading to a host of unearned runs as Young swings and misses and got a foul tip, rather. 0-1. Delman at .338, 19 homers, 69 runs batted in. Outfield deep and to the right. Infield is back. Here's the 0-1. Swung on, fouled off his foot. A self-inflicted wound, and down he goes. And Young is in pain. Most likely the league MVP. He has injured himself here in the first inning. This guy has had an amazing season. And when you factor in that he's only 19, it's just mind-boggling. He's number 3 in this league in batting average. He's first in homers and RBI. He's 4th in stolen bases. He has a cannon for a right arm. He has the good pedigree. His brother's in the big leagues. And during this at-bat, he just fouled one. From the press box up here, boy, he is still in pain. My guess, as he is doubled over, some sort of a groin injury. My first reaction was a knee, like Jermaine Dye a couple of years ago. But the way he's doubled over, it really does appear like a groin problem. And Delman Young, who has, as I mentioned, put up MVP numbers. He's already scheduled for the Futures game. He will attempt to stay in the game. You see him talking with Matt Lucero, his trainer. But when you bend at the waist, that tells me a groin problem. My very first reaction, as we say, naked eye game speed. I thought he had fouled the ball off of his knee, a la Jermaine Dye a few years back, but this is more in the groin area, and he's got a bat in his hand. He doesn't want to get out of there. Showing his toughness as well. He's going to take a practice cut just out of precaution. I'd give him the rest of the night off. Charlie Montoyo talking and saying, I'll need a decision soon. Needless to say, you don't replace Delman Young. So Charlie Montoyo won't. He'll keep the 19-year-old in the lineup. The count is 0-2, 2 outs. Bases are empty here in the top of the first. Tracey working. The pitch is swung on, fouled to the right side near the Barons dugout. Top of the first inning, no score. Montgomery batting. The official realtor of the Birmingham Barons is Mary Milton. If you plan on buying or selling a house, call Mary, a RE/MAX Advantage agent, at 823-2022. Kurt Bloom along with you on a beautiful Sunday here in the Magic City of Birmingham at Hoover Metropolitan. Tracey's coming home. The pitch is swung on and missed. Struck him out. Sinker low and in, and Young goes down on strikes. He's been relatively quiet in this series. Top of the first inning for the Biscuits. A leadoff single, but a double play, then a strikeout. Through a half inning of play, the Biscuits nothing, and the Barons are coming up. Last of the first inning here at home, the Barons will face off against right-hander Brian Lockwood. He's 24 years old, 2-5 with a 744 earned run average, 6'2", about 180 from Torrance, California. Attended La Harbor Junior College. 19th round selection by the Devil Rays in the year 2000. So he's in his 5th year. Defensively, left to right in the outfield, Luis Mateo, Jay Sitzman, and Delman Young. On the left side of the infield, Rico Washington and Matt Maniscalco. On the right side, Johnny Rayburn and Wes Bankston. Sharon Isinya is catching. And Lockwood, the righty, is pitching. It's really been a difficult year with a 2-5 record. He's 0-2 against the Barons, and his ERA is nearly a 10 at 9.35. He has been knocked around pretty good by Birmingham at 8 2/3 of an inning. He's allowed 19 hits and 10 runs. Jerry Owens will lead off for the Barons, who have scored at least 1 run in each of the first 3 games of this series. Owens, a left-handed hitter. He's 11th in the league at batting with a .312 average, 1 homer, 33 knocked in. Washington in from third. Lockwood's first pitch, and he draws a strike. Owens 2 for 5, 2 runs scored last night. Outfield is straight away, medium depth. Washington stays in at third. Bankston at first, a foot behind the bag. 0-1, cut on and missed. 0-2. Last of the first inning, no score between the Barons and the Biscuits. Montgomery got a leadoff single, and then a double play that went 5-4-3, followed by a Delman Young strikeout. 0-2 on Owens, and the pitch. Got him on the foot. And remember, Jerry's his bread and butter, his money, his game is built on his legs. And he just got hit around the ankle. And so Owens, a very painful hit by pitch. Joe Geck, the Barons trainer, will attend to the Barons leadoff hitter. And Razor Shines already stares in the dugout, wondering who he's got. He does have Darren Blakely if needed. They once said about Ricky Henderson with a sore foot is like Frank Sinatra with a sore throat. Owens will limp towards first base. With an 0-2 count, there's no way Lockwood was intentionally hitting Owens. Number 2 in the Barons lineup is the exciting shortstop Pedro Lopez. Lopez at .231 since coming down from Charlotte with a home run, 7 runs batted in. Meanwhile, Owens was still jogging down past first base. Joe Geck, our trainer, now heads back into the Barons dugout. Nobody out. The Barons have a wounded ball player at first with a bad wheel. Rico Washington will play in at third. Maniscalco and Rayburn back double play depth against Lopez. Lockwood will work out of the stretch. Owens leaning. He'll hold. The pitch swung on. Grounded to short. Should be 2. Maniscalco on to Rayburn. Back to Bankston high, but Bankston comes back down on the bag. This looks like a mirror image of the top of the first.
First baseman, number 35, Tracey.
Montgomery turns a double play. With the bases cleared, 2 outs, no score, bottom of the first inning. First baseman Casey Rogowski, he's 6th in the league at batting at .331 with 5 homers, 39 runs batted in. Outfield will move just to the right. Infield will play back. First pitch taken, and it's low. Bankston with the glove on the left hand, playing very deep at first, not far from the line. 2 outs, bases cleared, no score, bottom of the first inning. And the pitch to Rogowski, changeup swung on, slow roller, first base side. It's the pitcher Lockwood, and he'll go there by himself. And the Barons are retired again. The bottom of the first looked just like the top of the first inning. Leadoff man reached, but wiped out on a double play, and then a routine comebacker here to take care of Rogowski. After 1 from Hoover Met, it's been fun, but no score yet. We'll be back in just a moment. Top of the second inning, no score from Hoover Met, and Rico Washington waves at the first pitch, no contact. He's at .304, 13 homers, 51 batted in, left-handed hitter. Tracey's coming home. The 0-1 swung on, hit in the air deep towards right center field. Both Young and Sweeney chasing. Young extends, but it's off his glove. Sweeney backing up, fires it in towards second. Washington will wind up with a double. You do expect the spectacular catch to be made by Young. Now he was extended and on the run.
Number 35, Elijah Dukes.
It would have been a beautiful catch, but it's a double for Rico Washington. Here's Elijah Dukes, the DH, batting .300, 13 homers, 47 runs batted in. Strong right-handed batter. Leadoff man at second for the Biscuits. Tracey's pitch swung on, line towards left. Owens goes back, makes a catch. There's one away. He gets it back into Lopez. So Dukes unable to bring Washington any further.
16, Wes Bankston.
And I've always said this, if the leadoff man reaches scoring position, but the next guy does not advance, visually it acts the same thing. Now when you look up at second, you see 1 out. It's the same thing as a single and a sacrifice. But we at home know it's a double and then a line drive, no advancement. Wes Bankston, the first baseman, at .333 with 5 homers, 18 runs batted in. He was big last night with a home run and 4 runs batted in. Runner on second, 1 out. First pitch is high. No score here in the second. Car Wash headquarters has 2 locations, one in Vestavia, that's on Montgomery Highway, right side if you're going 31 north. The other one is on Highway 280 across from Target. At Car Wash headquarters, we offer full-service car washes, detailing, and oil change. Breaking ball hit towards third, knocked down by Fields. He'll come across the diamond to first to get the out. Bankston moves Washington over to third. A short hop play by Fields.
The catcher, number 23, Sharon Isenia.
And a runner as far as third base for the first time in this game. We're in the second. Sharon Isinia will bat. He's hitting .240 with 8 homers and 52 runs batted in. Right-handed hitter. 2 outs. No score in the second. Runner at third for the Biscuits. First pitch from Tracey, a breaking ball low. Washington takes his lead in foul territory down the third base line. Tracey's pitch. He has home plate but low. Outfield is straight away. Medium depth. Missing down low again is Tracey. Jay Sitzman on deck. He has not had an at-bat in the series. Isinia is looking at a 3-0 count. And the Tracey pitch swung on, fouled left side. He got the green light. 3-1. Top of the second, no score. The 3-1, that sailed inside, ball 4. So Isinia draws a walk. The Achilles heel for Sean Tracey has been walks. That's his 43rd of the year. He is second in the Southern League in base on balls. Left-handed batting Jay Sitzman is a 27-year-old veteran. Came up June 10th from Visalia, batting just 167. Now the outfield will shift just to the left corner. Infielders, you've got Rogowski holding the runner on, and Fields back at third. First pitch to the left-handed hitter is cut on and missed. So if you haven't seen him, see if he can hit your fastball. Good crowd, by the way, starting to swell. It's early. We're only in the second, and seats are filling up here at the Hoover Met. 0-1. Swung on, bouncer, foul outside of first, so Tracey out in front 0-2. I didn't think once Isinia got in front at 2-0 and 3-1 that he would see a strike. He has 52 RBI, and you certainly don't want him to beat you when you haven't seen a guy on deck. Might as well take your chances with Sitzman. He's 0-2 right now. No score in the top of the second. Tracey trying to strand a pair. Steps off a third, fires to first, and the runner gets back. Count 0-2 the pitch. Outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sitzman in his 7th year of pro ball. 3rd organization. Phillies, Red Sox, and now Devil Rays. No score in the second. The Biscuits have runners on first and third with 2 outs. And the 1-2 swung on, grounder towards third. Fields moves to his left, has it. He pumps, he throws just in time. So Tracey works around that leadoff double, then a 2-out walk after an inning and a half from Hoover Met on a beautiful Sunday. The Barons and the Biscuits remain scoreless. Hoover Met and the Barons will be on the road starting tomorrow night in Huntsville. 4 straight games beginning at 7:05. Our pregame begins at 6:55. Monday through Thursday, and then we'll return home for the weekend against the Mobile Bay Bears on Friday night, the 8th of July. Saturday night at 7 o'clock as well, and then Sunday again a week from tonight we'll be playing at 6 o'clock with a 5:50 pregame show. Chris Young, our center fielder, will lead off here in the bottom of the second. No score yet.
For the Barons, the center fielder, number 22, Chris Young.
Once again, you're looking at 2 outstanding baseball prospects, both with the same last name, Chris Young and Delman Young. Delman in right. Chris Young is batting. He's at .259, 17 homers, 46 runs batted in. The outfield straightaway and back. Here's the first pitch from Lockwood. He comes inside with an off-speed pitch and missed. That's respect. Nobody on base, leading off the second, and he goes off speed to open up against Chris Young. Young with a home run Thursday in this series, and he takes a breaking ball strike called 1-1. 3 for 4 last night. Right-handed batter. Count 1-1. Nobody on, nobody out. No score in the second. Breaking ball. Low. Check swing, and he didn't go. You can hear the brakes started screeching from here as Young just held up. In fact, I'm not the only one who thought he went around. There is some barking coming out of that Biscuit dugout. Charlie Montoyo telling Bradley, "You're kidding me with that." Here's the 2-1. It's high and in. 3 balls and 1 strike, and Young's not going to see a whole lot of good pitches tonight. Ryan Sweeney waiting on deck. We've had slugfests so far in this series where the least amount of runs scored has been 5. 3-1. Right across the plate, 3-2. Young must have been looking for a breaking ball. 9-5 Thursday, the Barons. 8-7 Birmingham on Friday. 10-5 last night for the Biscuits. The money pitch swung on, fouled, and the count remains at 3-2. So even the losing team has scored at least 5 runs in this series. After a slow start offensively, the Barons are 3rd in the league in batting at .276. 3-2 to Young. He swings at a breaking ball, and he has missed it. Brian Lockwood with a good sequence. Records his first strikeout.
The right fielder, number 24, Ryan Sweeney.
Here's right fielder Ryan Sweeney, who has a 7-game hitting streak. No score in the bottom of the second as he bats, hitting .274, 17 RBI. Left-handed hitter. Washington in from third. Sweeney watches the pitch go low and away. Bankston will play deep at first. The outfield bunched towards the center fielder Sitzman. Here's the 1-0 to Sweeney. Strike called. This might be the best sequence for Sweeney of the season. He has a 7-game hitting streak, and just as important, he's driven in runs and he's had quality at bats. He's only 20 years old, and he's gone through the typical up and downs. He'll line a base hit to left field in front of Mateo. A 1-out single, and Sweeney's hitting streak now up to 8. And that'll bring up Josh Fields, our third baseman.
23, Josh Fields.
Fields at .239, 9 homers, 46 runs batted in. Right-handed hitter. 1 out, 1 on. We are in the second. Fields will have room on the right side as Bankston will hold Sweeney on. And Fields, thinking Lockwood is not ready, he asks for and is granted time. Bottom of the second, no score. The Barons and the Biscuits. Outfield is again bunched to the middle. Here's Lockwood's pitch, outside and low. So Fields has room in the corners of the ballpark and on the right side of the infield. He's had a good series, 6 out of 10. Right-handed hitter. Closed stance. Isinia sets up just inside. The pitch swung on, breaking ball lined into left field. That's a base hit. Headed towards the corner. Sweeney will head towards third. Mateo bobbles. Sweeney is waved on home. Here comes the throw. He is standing to score, and Fields lights up a third. 1-0 Birmingham. There'll be no RBI.
The catcher, number 31, Chris Hoover.
Should be a double. It is a two-base hit and then an error by Mateo. So Fields winds up at third. The infield has to come in for Chris Stewart. He's at 284 with 4 homers, 25 RBI. Look for the possible squeeze. Breaking ball, strike one. You get that squeeze in early. When Razor has called for it, I mean, this is the guy, Chris Stewart, who has done it more than once this year. But he's not going to wait around in the count. This would be the only other pitch he might squeeze. The 0-1. Breaking ball swung out, tapped slowly towards third base. Once again, the official scoring on the ball by Fields, a double, no RBI, and the E7 allowing both Sweeney to score and Fields to get one extra base. 1-0, the Barons lead in the second. Infield remains in. 0-2. Stewart takes up high, ball one. Fields picks up his 7th hit of the series. He's 7 out of 11. 1-0, the Barons in front here in the last of the second. The pitch with a runner on third in the dirt. Good stop by Acina. There's an old statement in baseball that hitting is contagious. The longer you stay around, the longer you really believe in it. Sweeney is having his best consistent streak of the season. Same thing with Fields and others, like Owens and Rogowski, all at the same time. 2-2 to Stewart with a man on third. He swings and misses and has struck out. So temporarily, Fields still at third base. Now 2 outs for Antoine Gray.
The second baseman, number 14, Antoine Gray.
Antoine Gray hitting .246, 5 homers, 19 runs batted in. Runner on third, 2 outs. And Lockwood's pitch coming. Breaking ball in the dirt. And the Barons right now, Greg Ritchie, an outstanding hitting instructor. I am sure he told these guys, sit on the breaking ball. Do not swing at it, because if he doesn't throw it for a strike, he's got to come in with a fastball, which is high 80s at best. 1-0 pitch, and he sails one across for a strike. Lockwood will not be very useful if he can't get his curveball and his changeup over. Not many are, but some can compensate with a good fastball. He doesn't have that. Fields at third with 2 outs. Gray's got a hitter's 2-0 count. Here's a pitch. Swung out. Line towards the alley in right field. That's going to drop and run. RBI. Gray around first, heads towards second. And he'll get there standing as Fields scores easily, and the Barons lead 2-0. Antoine Gray going opposite way and lining a double to right center.
The designated hitter, number 12, Corey Haggerty.
So it's a 2-0 lead, and Corey Haggerty coming up with a runner in scoring position as well. And that's going to now make both runs earned, despite the error. Haggerty, a left-handed batter at .225, 2 homers, 13 runs knocked in. 2 gone, man at second, 2 runs across. The pitch is outside. We were just mentioning about hitting and being contagious. Let's throw Antoine Gray in there as well. He's had a rough season. So much was expected. And his last 7 or 8 games, he's just played solidly. The pitch to Haggerty is low. And I tell you what, that last swing by Gray, that might be his best swing of the year. Sitting back, waiting, going with the outside pitch and lining it into right field. Razor has been trying to get him to do that all year. Haggerty is up. He swings through a changeup. 2-1. 2 runs, 3 hits here in the second for the Barons, who have taken a 2-0 lead. Gray at second. Haggerty, the number 9 hitter, trying to bring him home. The 2-1, and the same changeup and the same result. Swing and a miss. Yeah, the crowd, I've talked about the crowd already. It continues to grow by the half inning. Count 2-2 on Haggerty. I'll make a point in just a moment. Here's a pitch. He swings, makes contact. Thank you. Foul ball. Right now, there are some scouts, and our pitcher, Corwin Malone, who typically would be in the stands filming, he's got a folding chair, and a couple of scouts have folding chairs as well. That's as close as they're getting. 2-2 on Haggerty, runner on second. The pitch is way outside, so he's battled himself back in. It was 0-2. And right now, Chris Hoddle does not have a seat. 2-0, the Barons out in front, last of the second. Man on second. Here's a 3-2. Swing and a bouncer headed up the middle. It is through for a base hit. Antoine Gray comes around to score. It's 3-0. Wonderful at bat for Corey Haggerty. Remember, he was down 0-2 before he sends a ground ball up the middle past Rayburn. And Gray was able to score from second standing. So the Barons lead 3-0 and have gotten clutch 2 out base hits from the bottom of the lineup.
The left fielder, number 21, Jerry Owens.
So Brian Lockwood, who faced just 3 hitters in the first, has allowed 3 runs on 4 hits here in the second. Jerry Owens hit by a pitch in his right foot, his front foot, as a left-handed hitter, his first time up. Short lead for Haggerty. Lockwood's coming home, and a check swing foul to the backstop. At Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries, we are more than just recliners, with locations in Hoover, Irondale, and Inverness. The Inverness location on the corner of 119 and 280. Kurt Bloom along with you at the Met on a beautiful Sunday. The Barons lead it by a score of 3-0 here in the second. Lockwood checks first. He'll come home. The pitch goes breaking ball, strike. Late run for Haggerty as he heads towards second. He's gunned down by Isinia, so the delayed steal did not work. But what did work was a couple of clutch 2 out base hits. The Barons grabbed 3 runs on 4 knocks. Nobody stranded. After 2 completed, Hoover met. The Barons 3 and the Biscuits nothing. This becomes a very important inning for right-hander Sean Tracey, because he now has 3 runs to work with in his back pocket. And Tracey will take on the number 9 hitter Luis Mateo, the left fielder. He's hitting 182 with a home run, 7 runs batted in. Tracey's first pitch is high and inside. We've talked so many times over the years about when a pitcher, especially at this level in Double-A, he gets some runs and the significance of putting up that 0. 1-0 pitch, swung on, bouncer, shortstop side, played by Lopez. He flat foots it over to first, 1 away. So Tracey starts what becomes an important inning with a ground ball to his outstanding shortstop, Pedro Lopez. Our pitching coordinator, Kirk Champion, and I, we've talked about that for over a decade. First when he was the pitching coach here, and then later on as the coordinator. And it's the first thing he says. He says, my unit, my guys get runs, and I preach, throw that 0 up. When you put up a 0, that means you've established the runs. And I've said it this way. It's like you're giving your teammates a high five. Every one of them, thanks for the runs, thanks for the runs. Johnny Rayburn will bat. And the pitch called a strike. 3-0 the Barons lead as we are now in the top of the third. Count is 0-1 on Rayburn, and the pitch way outside. Now Darren Blakely and Corey Haggerty both come in from the bullpen, and I'm wondering if Jerry Owens is having a problem with his foot. In fact, as the pitch is down low, I've discovered something. Yeah, no, that's those two guys coming in. The pitch here swung on, popped up towards Lopez, short left field, and he makes a catch. Yeah, both Blakely and Haggerty come in. They were warming up, and Jerry is still limping out there in left field. He, remember, got hit by a pitch in the first inning, and he might not be able to go further, which means Blakely is probably getting ready to come on in. Two gone in the third, and here's Matt Maniscalco. He's from Oxford, Alabama. The Barons lead at 3-0 here in the top of the third. And Tracey's got good rhythm as he misses inside, but Sean just having a game of catch with his catcher, Chris Stewart. Works on the first base side of the rubber, fires and misses down low. A win today, he'll take over the league lead in victories with 9 in what is his first season in Double-A. Tracey is on the White Sox 40-man roster. Came into the season as a top 10 prospect. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Sails high and tight on Maniscalco. Tracey got off to an outstanding Double-A start. He won his first 2, then a loss, then 2 more wins. 3-0 pitch, strike 1 called. The Barons lead 3-0 here in the top of the third. At one point in 4 starts, 0-2, and the ERA started to climb. A weak grounder towards third. This is Fields, and he throws on for the out. So very important inning by Sean Tracey. He has a 2-game winning streak, and he has just pitched awfully well so far tonight. So in the middle of the third from Hoover Met, the Barons establish a 3-0 lead. Jerry Owens getting hit by a pitch in his first at bat. His ankle tightened up, so Darren Blakely will come on and bat for Jerry and take over. Switch hitter Blakely batting from the left side against Lockwood. 3-0 the Barons out in front. Blakely takes the first pitch tad low and away. Now the Barons have played pretty much injury-free throughout the 2005 season, but now little minor injuries, a couple of days here and there for a couple of guys starting to add up. A 1-0 is outside. Blakely at 258, 12 homers, 47 runs batted in. Switch hitter batting left side. He'll now be at the top of the line the rest of the game. 3-0 the Barons out in front. And the 2-0 to Blakely. He swings and misses at a changeup. So let's do this officially now as we take a look at the St. Vincent's injury report. Brought to you by St. Vincent's Sleep Center, where healthy sleep starts, and they're also proud to be a sponsor of the Birmingham Barons. Again, Nick Lubicic, the most significant injury, bothered by a rotator cuff problem. A change swung on, fouled at home, and Lubicic scheduled to do a throwing program in Catawba, North Carolina. The hope, with fingers crossed, is that he can avoid surgery. Surgery is going to put him on the shelf for about a year. And that's the last thing that Lubicic and the White Sox want to see. Nick was having his breakout year. Andy Gonzalez turned an ankle in this series. 2-2. Change up. Got him. Strike 3 called. Blakely off the bench, and he strikes out looking. Bringing up Pedro Lopez. The Barons lead 3-0.
Number 7, Pedro Lopez.
Third inning, 1 out, nobody on. Pedro Lopez grounded into a double play his first time up. Andy Gonzalez is available if needed, but that would be on an emergency basis. Breaking ball low and away on Lopez. And Antoine Gray, who is taking his place, already has a double and a run batted in and a run scored. 3-0 the Barons lead in the last of the third. Breaking ball again, just low. So Lubicic down for about at least 30 days. Gonzalez day to day. Now Owens comes out of the lineup after getting hit by a pitch. 1 out, bases cleared. Lopez batting, takes low and away. Jonathan Aceves promoted to AAA Charlotte prior to the ball game, so the Barons have a backup catcher. 3-0 pitch, strike one called. Cipriano Garcia is here. That's a big loss as well. Aceves swinging a hot bat. He's up to AAA Charlotte. The 3-1 just off the plate. Ball 4. So Lopez draws a walk with one out. 3-0. The Barons out in front here in the third.
The first baseman, number 35, Tracey.
Coming up to the sounds of the Killers. Casey Rogowski. Rogowski hit the ball first base side of the mound his first time up, and Lockwood made the play on the sprint, got to the bag before Rogowski did. One out, one on, 3-0 the Barons lead. Outfield will play to the right. And the first pitch, Rogowski swings, hits it in the air to left. Mateo drifting to his right and makes a catch. 2 outs. Back to first goes Lopez. Not that he was going anywhere anyway.
The center fielder, number 22, Chris Young.
Center fielder Chris Young struck out his first time up. Young man from Houston, Texas. 3-0. The Barons out in front. We are in the bottom of the third. Went to Bel Air High in Houston. I asked him if he played any other sport. He said no. If you play baseball, that's all you play at his high school. First pitch swung on, hit hard on the ground through the left side. Crushed into left field. Lopez stops at second. That sets it up for Ryan Sweeney.
The right fielder, number 24, Ryan Sweeney.
3 runs on 5 Baron hits so far. We're in the bottom of the third, and Ryan Sweeney will come up with 2 on and 2 outs. He has singled and scored a run. In the top of the 4th inning, we'll review what we've seen already in Big League Baseball. Our scores are brought to you by Bell South. 2 on, 2 outs for Sweeney. The pitch here, swung on and missed. A changeup, nicely placed by Brian Lockwood. Two on, 2 outs, a chance to bust it open for the Barons. 3-0 lead, a swing, a foul near the Barons dugout on the screen. Sweeney, Fields, and Gray have scored the runs. Gray and Haggerty have knocked them in. Another run scored on an overrun out in left field. 0-2 on Sweeney with 2 runners on. 3-0 Birmingham. The pitch swung on and missed. He got a foul tip. Just got a piece. Oh, 2 on Sweeney. Lockwood not afraid to throw either a changeup or a curveball any time in the count, especially 0-2. Here's the pitch, goes outside. Another changeup. The Barons up by 3 and batting here in the bottom of the third on a beautiful Sunday night in Hoover, Alabama. And here's the 1-2. Swing and contact on the ground to second. Rayburn. Bases loaded. A routine play, and Johnny Rayburn at second bobbled it. Lopez held at third, and the bases are loaded for Josh Fields.
The third baseman, number 23, Josh Fields.
Josh Fields has a chance to separate the two clubs with one big swing. He doubled and scored in the second inning, his 7th hit of the series. 3-0 the Barons now. Bases loaded with 2 outs. Outfield, medium depth and straight away. First pitch from Lockwood. It's a breaking ball. Strike called. Fields extended his hitting streak to a season-high 6 with his double. Right-handed hitter, first full year pro ball. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball way outside. Lopez the lead runner, followed by Young and Sweeney. Lockwood has thrown 54 pitches already. Lopez comes down the line at third. 3 on with 2 outs. And time is called. Rob Sasser last year hit a grand slam for the Barons. That was the team's last grand slam. None this year. And here is the 1-1. It's in the dirt. Blocked by Isinia, and Fields puts up his hands and says, hey, don't go anywhere. Kurt Bloom along with you from the Met. Here in the last of the third, the Barons are trying to break open a 3-0 game. You really want to get an extra base hit here to establish the lead and really push the Biscuits further away. Wind blowing out slightly towards left. Get it up, it might get out. Pick off at second. That's going to be close. Safe. Young just got back in. Barons lead 3-0, bottom of the third with 3 on. And a 2-1 count on Fields. Lockwood's coming home. The pitch is swung on. Hit in the air to center. Back goes Sitzler to the warning track, to the wall. Look it up. It is. Gets a grand slam. Josh Fields has just ordered the salami in the Barons. A busted open and leads 7-0. There's your extra base hit to establish the lead. I'm just talking about the grand slam. It was Rob Sasser last year, and now Josh Fields this year.
The catcher, number 31, Chris Stewart.
And quite a blow to establish the lead to center field right over the 405. 7-0 Birmingham. Here's Chris Stewart, a breaking ball away. What a series for Fields, who recently has been lost because of the offensive prowess of Young, Rogowski, and Sweeney. 1-0 pitch to Stewart, outside ball 2. Stewart struck out swinging in the second. So the error by Rayburn, you can hear the buzz in the crowd, allowing this to happen. And the 2-1 swung on, popped him up. Isinia, the catcher, foul territory behind home. Good catch right near the wall. He didn't give up, and that will retire the side. But Josh Fields hits his first career grand slam, his 10th homer of the year, and the Barons, after 3 complete, lead 7-0.